If you're a Patreon supporter, you can watch this video ad-free at the Patreon page. To become a Patreon supporter, please go to patreon.com/TJR the original. Whether you're a Patreon supporter or not, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it.
This week on Music Worth Buying, we're going to be hearing music from the Jayhawks, Back Roads, and Abandoned Motels.
And Billy F. Gibbons with The Big Bad Blues.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Music Worth Buying. My name is Robert Kinsler, and I'm a music writer and a musician.
And my name is TJR. I'm a musician and a music writer.
Now this week, I'm going to kick things off with the Jayhawks, Back Roads, and Abandoned Motels. Now the Jayhawks are not, a band that everyone knows, but many people that have watched our shows, watched our previous episodes, know that we're both fans of the Jayhawks.
And I should interject here real quick. When we began this, you were a fan of the Jayhawks, but you turned me into a fan.
Right.
My exposure to you on this show has made me a Jayhawks fan. What was the name of their previous album? Paging Mr. Prouse.
That's right. Paging Mr. Prouse was the one that came out before. Although they have done a few albums where they've actually backed up Ray Davies of the Kinks. I think one was Our Country Americana, like Act 2. He had this two-part series of albums kind of dedicated to Americana and roots music in America, and the Jayhawks were his band that backed him up.
I was not aware of
that. So they have been doing that, but this new album is the first one since that one.
Anyways, it was with that last album when you brought it on the show, and I decided to listen to it, and I thought, wow, what a great album. And that turned me into a fan, and I have you to thank for that.
Okay, good.
And so, please, I'm anxious to know about this album.
Now, again, maybe because I'm so biased, I just absolutely love this album, and the band has continued to stretch out and is doing different things here. Namely, the first song on here, Come Crying to Me, features the vocals of the keyboardist, Karen, and hopefully I'll say Karen's name right. She's been a longtime member of the band, Grotberg, and she actually does lead vocals, and they draw amazing comparisons with the lead vocals of Rosanne Cash, at least to my ear. Okay. Why don't we listen to a little bit of that, and then we'll talk more about the album. How's that sound?
Cool.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
When the world's on your shoulders and you just feel like hiding, when there's nowhere to run to, you can come crying, come crying to me.
So, first of all, from what you said before the break, I take it that she hasn't sung lead vocals on the album's previous albums.
No, not really. That I recall offhand, she hasn't. I mean, normally it's kind of the Gary Louris, and hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's who we think of as the principal singer.
Vocalist. Okay.
Yeah, vocalist. There's lots of great harmonies on their albums, but he's who you think of. And actually on this album, you not only hear from Karen, but the drummer gets to sing, Tim O'Regan, he gets to sing several songs, which is kind of neat. So this, you find it's kind of a little bit of a different approach.
Very nice,
but just great across the board.
So first of all, right from the first note that I heard her voice, I definitely could hear the Rosanne Cash comparison that you're making. And I was like, wow, I would have thought this was a new Rosanne Cash singer or something, had I not known. I like this song right from the get-go. Nice bass groove, nice, easy, smooth groove. I'm going to make a comparison here. I don't think I've ever brought this up here. I'm a big green tea drinker. I love drinking green tea. I love a really good jasmine green tea that has a very smooth flavor. This song has a very smooth flavor, like a nice smooth jasmine green tea. That's what I'm going to say about this song.
And you know, for me, when I heard the song, obviously the Jayhawks are kind of known for their pioneering roots and Americana sound, but actually I hear some Memphis soul in the song too. which might get bad. What you're saying, kind of that smooth take. But again, what's so exciting about this is without sacrificing what has made all the previous masterworks by the Jayhawks so great is you see the band here is doing some different things musically, not only including some of the other members in the lead vocal duties, but just some of the things musically going on. And I just love this album, and every time I put it on, I discover something different and something else that gets me excited.
Well, this song, I'm definitely enjoying this song here, and so tell me more about
this. It's
It's
just a beautiful package here. So here's the cover there. I think we can all see that just inside here. That's where the CD is. And just beautiful, and it's called Backroads and Abandoned Motels, and it kind of conjures that up in the artwork.
Yeah, of course.
And it comes with a very nice booklet that has all the lyrics, and they are easy to read. I think you can see them on camera here. And very detailed liner notes and everything too. Just a very nice package,
Oh, and show the front of that. Let's just take a look
kind of neat. Yeah. It almost looks like somebody put a glass and left a ring on it or something.
It does.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like it's like exactly
in
like
the
a
paper.
coffee
Like,
ring.
oh wait, why did you use your little booklet as as a coaster? But that's not what it is.
Yeah, of course.
What I want to do now is play something very different than that track, and then we'll talk about it. And this track is called "Backwards Woman."
As it turns out, I know this song. I covered it on my Monday song recommendations. On Mondays, I do a Songs You Need to Hear Now video series where I recommend new tracks, and I recommended this track on one of my episodes back when this was an advanced track before the release of the album.
Yeah, so a bit ago. Yeah.
And yes, and I enjoyed it then. I am enjoying this song now. The one thing I will add about this song is there is a strong Beatles influence on this song, and especially, I would say, a strong George Harrison influence. And I would narrow it down even more by saying George Harrison's solo work, post-Beatles. In fact, I should remove the Beatles one and just say George Harrison post-Beatles. There's a strong element about this song. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but it feels like something George Harrison would have done in the 70s after the break of the Beatles.
Wow.
One of his solo works.
And you're saying that, and that is connecting with me. I go, that sounds pretty spot on. There's so much about the song I love. I love kind of the loose, kind of freewheeling approach, but then those harmonies are just simply glorious. I just love this song. It's one of the songs you can hit repeat. It's just great, and kind of sums up my love for this album and the Jayhawks.
Cool. Thanks for bringing that one on.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to talk about the latest album by Billy F. Gibbons. I want to make that distinction here. Of course, Billy Gibbons, best known for his work with ZZ Top. This is his second solo album. His first solo album was called Perfectamundo, and it was actually titled by Billy Gibbons and the BFGs. I'll talk more about that in a moment. But this album is called The Big Bad Blues, or maybe I should refer to it as The Big Bad Blues. Yeah. But no, what should I say about this album? I think the first thing I'm going to say is there's nothing new under the sun with this album. And that is an awesome thing. This is probably the best ZZ Top album I've heard in a while. I'm surprised ZZ Top didn't do this album. They should have done this album.
So true. I'm laughing because you were spot on.
It makes me wonder, why didn't ZZ Top do this album? Why did he do it solo? Is one of the band members not feeling well? Is someone really sick, which I hope is not true? Is there some animosity going on? On this album, Billy Gibbons is doing a mix of both new original songs and cover songs that are personal favorites of his, classic blues songs, some of which you may know, some of which you may not know, and he's put his own unique stamp on it. And you know, if you've been waiting for a really great ZZ Top album, this is it, even though it's Billy F. Gibbons. I'm not sure why he had to put the distinction of the F. His last album, he listed himself as Billy Gibbons, you know, and the BFGs. That album, and I should talk about that album for a moment here. Oh, you know what? I'll save that. I'm not going to talk about it yet.
Okay.
Let's just listen to a track here. We are going to listen to a song called Let the Left Hand Know, which is one of the original songs off this album. Here we go.
What that means I don't know. Gotta get a grip. Don't let it slip for sure. Just ease toward the floor and do a little more. Let the left hand know where the right hand goes.
Now, I love this song. I love this album. I reviewed it in my print column as well. But you're absolutely right. It's so authentic. Mm-hmm. It's both authentically ZZ Top, but also of the blues. Mm-hmm. You know, and you can. He taps so much into his love of the blues and the power and the energy. I just love it, and I love the really fiery, almost distorted harmonica. His mm-hmm. voice is in your face, and it's just an amazing track.
One of my comments about this album is, where has this album been? Where's it been? Yeah. It's like, why didn't it show up sooner? And let me go ahead and just discuss
Let's
packaging.
just be thankful it's here.
Let's just be thankful it's here.
Yeah.
So here's the front, and here is the back. And let me open it up on the inside here.
Beautiful package, too, by the way.
Yeah, nice photography.
Yeah.
And let me pull out the booklet here. The booklet doesn't have any lyrics. I don't think it needs it, to be honest. You got this nice kind of fold-out image here, and then this opens up here as a booklet. And, of course, you've got just track listings, some more photographs, and just basic. It's very basic as far as text. No lyrics. The only thing that I am disappointed about with this, insofar as the album, is I don't think I need lyrics. It would have been nice if he had said a little something about each song, because a lot of these are cover songs, mm-hmm. and said a little something about, you know, what these songs, like, you know, in a few sentences, what they mean to him, why mm-hmm. he chose them, and maybe a few words about the original tracks too that he wrote as well. Initially, I thought this was going to be a mostly covers album. It's 11 uh-huh. tracks, uh-huh. but it turns out 6 of the tracks are originals. So it's pretty much an even split of originals and covers. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of fun to listen to it cold, or I should say blind, and without knowing what's a cover and what's original. Can you tell? Uh-huh. Can you tell which one's a cover and which one's an original? And because he puts his own stamp on the covers. Oh, he really
does. He does.
And I should take this moment to talk about Perfectamundo, which was his first solo album, where he did a little bit of a departure. He combined his style of blues with Afro-Cuban rhythms. Mm-hmm. And prior to this album, I had no idea that Billy Gibbons had actually studied with Tito Puente, which doesn't surprise me now when I think about some of the bizarre, the cool, funky rhythms that he's done with ZZ Top. It doesn't surprise me now. There's an episode we did of our Top 100 mm-hmm. where I discussed Manic Mechanic.
Right.
And definitely I can see where some of his wild rhythmic stuff comes from now that I know that he studied under Tito Puente. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Perfectamundo is also a really good album, a little bit different from ZZ Top, but definitely a great, fun album, enjoyable album. About the only thing I didn't like about that album was the use of auto-tune in 1 or 2 mm-hmm. songs. Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessary, mm-hmm. in my opinion. It just mm-hmm. didn't need it. But if you can get past that, it's, like I said, great album. Mm-hmm. We will check out another song. This is going to be one of the covers, and it's called Crackin' Up.
You're always screaming about the money I spend. What's bugging you? Yeah, you're bugging me. I do your laundry and guacamole too.
Again, I just love that song. And, you know, outside of the obvious, like, there's a 50s feel to it.
Yes.
You know, what I love about it is you think about his voice is aged. His voice is, so much of when you hear contemporary pop music, they're trying to make these flawless kind of auto-tuned vocals that are like vanilla. They don't,
Yeah.
there's so much emotion and life. I just, like you're saying, I wish ZZ Top would have made this album. This is just, but this album is a great album. I mean, Big Bad Blues, it's so aptly titled. I just love this song and I just love this album. I mean, even though I've listened to it, just hearing it here in the studio when we're filming, I want to go out and hear it again.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
There's a definite 50s vibe to it, and it's a very youthful song, and he taps into his youthfulness in this track. I don't know, I forget how old he is at this point. I'm guessing he's in his 60s or so.
Yeah,
maybe,
probably
roughly.
late 60s, I'm guessing.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But, and if there is any aging in his voice, it only adds
That's what I was trying to...
more character to the music he's doing.
Uh-huh.
You know?
He sounds fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, his voice sounds
Yeah.
great. His guitar playing sounds great. The rest of the band is excellent on this album. There is some real, mean, powerful, heavy blues on this album that I didn't play. I chose this song, which, by the way, I want to mention the original was by Elias McDaniel. I'm not familiar with the original track. I need to go check it out.
I'm not either.
That's one great thing about these type of albums. When an artist does some covers that they like that are not well known, is you should feel this compulsion to go check out the original. And now, of course, with the internet, with streaming services, it's very easy to do. You don't have to scour used record stores to do that anymore. You can just look it up and listen to it.
Exactly.
I'm going to do that after we're done here today. But yeah, he taps into a sense of his youth with it. This is obviously a song from his youth, and he taps into it when he performs it. But yeah, this is just one heck of, and I said heck because I'm watching my language because we know that kids are watching, but it is one H-E double hockey sticks mean smoking album. And I can't recommend it enough.
And I want to say one thing about this in the blues. So
Yeah.
many times people think of blues like, oh, it belongs in a museum. It's this old style of music and stuff. Albums like this reinterpret, reinvigorate, and reintroduce you to the blues music. And not only is it a great showcase for Billy F. Gibbons, but it's just a great showcase for this style of music and its influence on rock and pop and jazz and all the other things that blues is kind of weighted, and I'm just this is a great album.
And one thing I should mention, if you're going to try to look this up on either Apple Music or Tidal or Spotify, any of the streaming services, when I first tried to look up this album, in fact, when I first tried to look up the advanced tracks, I wrote Billy Gibbons because that's how we know him, and I couldn't find it. I realized you have to actually make the distinction, or I type in Billy F. Gibbons. So if you're going to look this up on any streaming service, do yourself that favor.
And let's compound it, and it's F without a period, right? It's just like Billy F. Gibbons, just
yes.
like it looks like here. We'll hold it closer. You have to almost do it right like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not sure why he chose to do
Yeah.
that, put the F in there. I don't know what the reasoning was.
Next time I see him, I'll ask
Let's
him.
ask him,
Okay.
yeah. Hey,
as if I'm
dude,
ever going
why?
to run into him.
Yeah, dude, why? Because it was hard to find you.
Next time I go to Houston
it
or something.
It took a whole extra 2 minutes to find you, dude. But in today's internet world where people just want instant access to everything, that's a crucial thing, actually.
it
A lot
is,
of people will give up, but don't give up. Find this album. It's a great album. And thanks for bringing in the Jayhawks.
Jayhawks, yeah. These are, I'm familiar. I love both these albums. You can't go wrong by putting both these in your player or listening to them on iTunes or whatever. You're going to love these, yeah.
And so have you heard these albums yourselves? Tell us what you think. Tell us if you enjoyed these albums as much as we did. Or are you thinking now you might want to check them out? Let us know. As always, like I said, if you want to check out these albums, go to the legal streaming services. Go to Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. And you'll probably find these albums in their entirety at the artist's official YouTube page, which is usually on Vivo. You'll find the official streaming on YouTube. Go to their official streaming. That way you show your support for the artist that way. That way they get paid for you streaming it. And as always, we just want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click subscribe. Be sure to click notifications so you can know when we release new videos. And if you want to help us make more videos, please go to the recently started Patreon page, become a supporter. You can pledge as much or as little as you want. As pledges start, though, at $1, just $1 a month. Just the cost of a cup of coffee a month will make a huge difference and help us to produce more of these videos. And we just want to thank you again for watching, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.